What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the debut album from the band Abhorrent Decimation, entitled Miasmic Mutation. This is released on Cold Birth Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of London, England in the UK, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very contemporary, technical, sci-fi themed style of death metal. Yeah. This is one of those bands that I've been hearing a lot of things about over the last several years, and once I found out that there was going to be some actual full-length material from this band, my interests began to peak, and I was very interested to hear what was going to be coming next from this band. They came out with an EP back in 2013 entitled Infected Celestial Utopia. And upon listening to that EP, I was really impressed. I was impressed with their style and approach. I was impressed by their professionalism, their attention to detail when it came to their music, their overall music themes, the production, the presentation. This is a band that really took their craft very seriously, and it should be noted that this band was formed with some really well-established chops within the UK brutal death metal world. There was a band called Flesh Rot that existed for a couple of years, most notably their vocalist and guitarist who were involved in that project were in that band for a very good while and put out a few acclaimed releases, and until that band decided to dissolute, we have this new band, and they've been moving steadily forward ever since then, and they've been proclaiming a lot of attention with their music. Now we have the very first full-length album from Abhorrent Decimation entitled Miasmic Mutation. It's 9 tracks, and it clocks in at around 38 minutes in length, and honestly, after listening to this album, you'll easily tell how far a band like this has come along. Musically, stylistically, professionally, this is a debut that really has far exceeded my expectations. I mean, I have a strong feeling that within the next couple of years, this is going to be a band that's going to get a lot more attention, not only from the metal underground, but from probably more well-known, well-established sort of metal mediums. I mean, this is a band that could get a lot of crossover appeal to not just in Europe, but in America and all around the world. This is one of those bands that has that style, that it factor, if you will. And you can tell right away from listening to this band's music. I mean, musically, this is a very well-made and well-performed sort of album. The guitar playing on here is a very paramount inclusion to this album. I love the way these guitar riffs sounds. Very technical, not overly technical for the sake of being technical, but it's done properly. It's done with a lot of good taste, and I think these riffs are sensational. I mean, songs like The Icon of Loss and Eternal Repulsion, just some incredible guitar riff work being done on those songs. Very smartly done guitar playing, very intricate in a way. The technicality sounds great, the solos sound nice too. It definitely really feels like you're listening to a more contemporary sort of modern sort of death metal sound. I mean, think if you will to stuff like maybe Fallujah or even Allegiant, just some small specifics. There's probably a few more bands I could think of that could remind the listener of that type of death metal sound, and I think with the guitar playing on Miasmic Mutation, I think it does feel like a contemporary sort of death metal record. The bass tone is very good too. It really does show itself off very nicely when it needs to. It's not an overly dominant bass tone, but still it has the same level mindset like the guitar is very well heard and well established, well produced too. The drumming on here is very solid too. I like the way this drummer handles himself. A lot of great fills, a lot of good blasts, a lot of patterns, a lot of good blasts here and there. It has a great pace all the way throughout. It doesn't feel like anything slows down or lets up. It has a good pace, and it makes the listener want to get more in depth with how the song structurings are. I think this drummer knows what he's doing, and he delivers a great performance here. And when it comes to the vocals, this is probably what makes this album so catchy, is the infectiousness of this singer. He has a lot of roughness in his vocal delivery, very very powerful sounding vocals, not guttural to where you can't understand what he's saying, but his vocal delivery is incredibly catchy. Just the way he delivers the lyrics, especially on songs like Eternal Repulsion and For the Desperately Lost, just some really great vocal parts. I mean, there's some vocal parts on here that really are very infectious and will stick to your head. This is the type of stuff that you would want to chant along to if you were to see this band live. And I really dig the sci-fi sort of themes going on, an almost glacial sort of idea being represented in these lyrics. It's a more immersive experience when you're listening to this singer do the vocal style that he does and say the lyrics that he does. It really makes for that much more of an entertaining listening experience. So, overall, this is an extremely impressive debut. If you're into the more contemporary sound of death metal, if you're into technical death metal, if you're into just straight up death metal, this is something that's going to be very appealing to any fan of that musical style. Like I said before, I really think this band is going to be a bigger deal than what I think they already are at now. In the next couple of years, just give it some time and you'll be seeing this band show up on more metal magazines, hopefully get on more well-established tours, and maybe possibly play the US one day. So there's a lot of great ideas being presented here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will link you to the Abhorrent Decimation Bandcamp page where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can buy it digitally, and I will also link you to the web store of this band where you can purchase a physical copy. It's done in this Pro CD. You can buy it directly through the band, and if I'm not mistaken, Comatose Music will be handling US distribution for this CD, so if you want to get it in the States, you can definitely buy it in the US through Comatose when that's available to purchase. And if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would pretty much have to say The Icon of Loss, Eternal Repulsion, Echoes of the Vortex, and Terminal Reality. Some really solid tracks. So I'm going to show you the album again. This is Miasmic Mutation by Abhorrent Decimation. This is released on Coldberg Records. Go check this out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 8.5 out of 10. Extremely impressive debut. Very much a proper representation of what modern and contemporary death metal should sound like. If you've happened to have heard this album, let me know what you think of it. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Armijo out.